A classic workhorse, the 1931 Chevrolet light-duty pickup. Ever wondered what made the 1931 Chevrolet pickup such a timeless icon? It's more than just steel, rubber, and paint. It's a story carved into the very fabric of American grit and ingenuity. Born in the throes of the Great Depression, the 1931 Chevy light-duty pickup wasn't just a vehicle. It was a lifeline for the working class, a bold testament to functionality fused with style, and a harbinger of the modern pickup era. Nearly a century later, it continues to captivate collectors, enthusiasts, and historians alike, not just for its design, but for what it represents: the American spirit under pressure, building forward. The early 1930s were tough years in America. With the economy in shambles and unemployment soaring, people weren't looking for luxury. They were desperate for reliability, affordability, and practicality. Chevrolet answered the call with a truck that embodied all three. The 1931 light-duty pickup was not just another entry into a growing market. It was a strategic and emotional move by Chevrolet to deliver power and purpose to everyday Americans. At first glance, the 1931 Chevy pickup boasts a design that still turns heads, not with modern flash, but with timeless integrity. It carried a rugged steel frame, gracefully arched fenders, and a signature vertical bar grille that gave it a commanding presence without pretension. Unlike many vehicles of its time, this truck seamlessly blended form and function. The body was a reflection of the era's aesthetic sensibilities: clean, bold lines, a utilitarian cab, and a handcrafted wooden bed. Every curve and edge had a reason, every bolt and panel served a purpose. But the beauty of the 1931 pickup was more than skin deep. Under the hood, it featured the then revolutionary Stovebolt Six engine, a 194 cubic inch inline-six that marked Chevrolet's transition away from the more modest four-cylinder engines of the past. Producing about 50 horsepower, it may not sound like much by today's standards, but in its day, it was a powerhouse. More importantly, it was dependable. This engine became a cornerstone for Chevrolet, not just for its improved performance, but for its role in democratizing power, making robust machinery accessible to the average American. What truly set the 1931 model apart wasn't just technical specs or manufacturing innovations. It was its soul. This was a truck designed for people who worked the land, who ran small businesses, who needed something they could trust every single day. It was used on farms, in construction, on delivery routes, and everywhere in between. And it wasn't a temporary vehicle. Many of these trucks ran for decades, patched up and pushed to their limits, always delivering. Beyond function, the 1931 Chevrolet pickup carved out its place in American culture. It became an emblem of self-reliance. Where earlier trucks were mostly adaptations of car chassis with makeshift cargo beds, Chevrolet took a different approach, purpose-building a machine that was as dependable as it was durable. This foresight is a big reason why the 31 Chevy is viewed today not just as a tool of the past, but as a visionary leap toward the future of the light-duty truck. And then there's the restoration, the modern resurrection of this classic workhorse. Watching a 1931 Chevy pickup come back to life is nothing short of magical. Every detail, from the hand-polished chrome accents to the deep gleam of its restored paint, tells a story of patience, craftsmanship, and reverence for history. Restorers don't just rebuild trucks, they revive legacies. When the engine turns over for the first time in decades, it's as if history breathes again. The sound of that Stovebolt Six rumbling back to life isn't just mechanical, it's emotional. It's a direct link to a generation that refused to give up. And let's not forget the truck's place in the visual timeline of American design. Even in the modern world of sculpted bodywork and aerodynamic efficiency, the 31 Chevy holds its ground with a kind of stubborn elegance. The thick tires, the solid axle, the upright windshield, they all speak to a time when vehicles were built with an honest simplicity. It's the kind of truck you don't just drive, you admire. You feel it. You become part of its story. Today, owning or even seeing a 1931 Chevrolet light-duty pickup is like opening a time capsule. It speaks not only to where we came from but also to what we still value: durability, authenticity, and character. Enthusiasts spend months, sometimes years, tracking down original parts, reconstructing the wooden bed slats, restoring the original color palette, and reviving the mechanical heartbeat of this classic. Every piece they touch connects them to the people who once depended on that very truck to haul timber, deliver goods, or take a family to town. This is why the 1931 Chevrolet pickup isn't just a truck, it's a piece of American history. It reflects the challenges and triumphs of an era when survival depended on ingenuity and grit. And even today, as we look to electric engines, autonomous driving, and space-age materials, we find ourselves drawn to this humble machine. Its legacy reminds us that the simplest tools, when built with care and intention, can endure far beyond their time, prepared to be transported back in time. Whether you're a gearhead, a history buff, or someone who just appreciates good design, the 1931 Chevrolet light-duty pickup will speak to you. Its lines are clean, its history rich, and its engine, when it rumbles back to life, carries a rhythm that's as American as the open road. This truck isn't just restored, it's reborn. And in its rebirth, it continues to inspire. So the next time you see a glossy black or deep forest green 1931 Chevy gliding across the road or shining under the lights at a classic car show, know that you're looking at more than just vintage steel. You're witnessing the enduring soul of American craftsmanship. A classic workhorse, still proud, still strong, still telling its story. The birth of a classic. The 1931 Chevrolet pickup wasn't just another product rolling off an assembly line. It was the birth of a new era. At a time when the country was struggling through the economic devastation of the Great Depression, Chevrolet dared to deliver something bold, something that met the moment with grit, utility, and hope. The truck was more than just transportation. It was a tool for survival and progress. It represented the resilience of the American worker and the ingenuity of American engineers. What began as a response to an economic need became the foundation of one of the most iconic and enduring legacies in automotive history. This was Chevrolet's response to a rapidly evolving automotive landscape. The pickup truck market was still young, and manufacturers were figuring out how to balance utility with affordability. Chevrolet leaned into the ethos of the time, simplicity, functionality, and durability, and created a vehicle that was not just built to last, but designed to serve. The truck didn't rely on luxury or flair. It was engineered to be a partner in the daily grind. From its very first bolts and blueprints, the 1931 pickup reflected a deep understanding of what people really needed: a reliable, tough-as-nails workhorse that could shoulder the load without breaking the bank. Visually, the truck captured the essence of 1930s industrial design. The first thing you notice is the grille. Vertical slats that form a confident, upright face, like a jaw set with purpose. It was instantly recognizable and gave the truck a presence that demanded attention, even parked at a job site or rolling down a dusty road. Then come the fenders, gracefully rounded over the wheels, hugging them like armor. They weren't just aesthetic. They shielded the truck's body from the debris and grit of unpaved roads and farmland trails. And the frame, solid, simple, and strong, was a no-nonsense platform designed to take punishment and keep going. These design cues weren't about vanity. They were about values, strength, resilience, and practicality. Engineering marvels for its time. But the 1931 Chevrolet pickup wasn't just good-looking. It was a beast under the skin. Under its modest hood sat one of Chevrolet's proudest achievements, the Stovebolt Six engine. This 194 cubic inch inline-six power plant marked a departure from the older four-cylinder engines, offering a significant leap in performance and reliability. At 50 horsepower, it gave drivers not only more muscle but also smoother acceleration and better towing capacity. It was quiet, strong, and simple to maintain, a winning combination for farmers, haulers, and small business owners who needed power they could count on day in and day out. This engine wasn't just a step forward for Chevrolet, it was a statement. It meant Chevrolet trucks weren't just going to compete, they were going to lead. And they did. That straight six would go on to power Chevy vehicles for decades, earning a reputation as one of the most durable and beloved engines in American automotive history. Supporting all that power was a steel frame that redefined durability. Unlike many competitors who were still using wood-reinforced frames or hybrid designs, Chevrolet committed fully to steel. This made the truck stronger, safer, and more reliable under heavy loads. Pair that with a leaf spring suspension system that could handle the roughest terrain, and you had a machine that felt right at home on a dirt farm road, a gravel quarry, or a muddy job site. It was dependable. It didn't rattle apart after a few years. It could be beat up, weighed down, and pushed to the limit, and it would keep on going. You'd see the 1931 Chevy pickup everywhere. On farms, hauling crates of vegetables to the market. In construction zones, carrying lumber and tools to job sites. In small towns, doubling as delivery vans for grocers, mechanics, and hardware stores. These trucks weren't for show, they were built to work. And they did, often for decades at a time. It wasn't uncommon to find one still running strong into the 1950s, patched up, tuned up, and still giving its all. The legacy of a timeless design. The influence of the 1931 Chevrolet pickup didn't end with its model year. It echoed forward through generations of American truck design. Its DNA runs through every Chevy truck that followed. That upright, confident stance. That commitment to strength and utility. The balance of function and form. All of it can be traced back to this early model. Even in today's trucks, with their touch screens and turbocharged engines, you can feel the echoes of that 1931 spirit. The idea that a truck should serve you, carry your burdens, and do it with quiet strength, that started here. Over the years, Chevrolet refined and expanded on this blueprint, but the core principles remained. Design cues from the 1931 model have popped up in anniversary editions and special retro-inspired models. The squared-off stance, the broad shoulders, the pronounced grille, these elements keep finding their way back, because they still resonate. They still work. There's something universally appealing about a machine that wears its purpose so proudly. And it's not just a factory line where the 1931 Chevy pickup lives on. Custom builders and restoration shops still turn to it for inspiration. You'll see chopped and slammed hot rod versions cruising down coastal highways, or meticulously restored models gleaming under the lights at car shows. Enthusiasts cherish this truck not only for what it was, but for what it means, a symbol of enduring American craftsmanship, a connection to a time when machines were built with heart, and a canvas for personal expression and mechanical artistry. Restoring a piece of history. Restoring a 1931 Chevrolet pickup is not for the faint of heart. It's a journey. A labor of love that demands patience, dedication, and a deep respect for the past. It often starts with a rusted hulk forgotten in a barn or a salvage yard. A cracked engine block. Rotten woodbed slats. Missing fenders. Faded emblems. But to the right set of hands, it's not junk, it's potential. It's history waiting to be reborn. The process begins with the hunt. Original parts are tracked down across the country, sometimes across the globe, from private sellers, estate sales, swap meets, and online auctions. Each piece, whether it's a headlamp bracket or a carburetor linkage, becomes a puzzle piece in the greater story. Then comes the teardown. The frame is stripped and sandblasted. The engine is pulled and rebuilt, often with modern machining but faithful to the original specs. The body panels are repaired, repainted in original colors or lovingly chosen new hues that highlight the curves and lines like never before. The wood in the truck bed is often recreated by hand, sometimes from the same species of timber used in the original factory builds. The interior, simple and sparse in 1931, is restored with stitched leather or cloth, new gauges calibrated with care, and glass reinstalled with the precision of a jeweler. Every bolt, every wire, every inch is brought back to life, not just to function, but to shine. And when that engine finally fires for the first time after restoration, when that Stovebolt Six comes to life with a deep, throaty purr, it's nothing short of magic. It's not just a machine starting up. It's history rising from the ashes. For restorers, it's a moment of triumph. For everyone else, it's a reminder that the past isn't gone, it's alive, waiting to roll forward once more. The enduring symbol of American craftsmanship. The 1931 Chevrolet light-duty pickup has left a mark that can't be erased. It helped define an industry. It became a blueprint for what a pickup truck could and should be. But more than that, it became a symbol of resilience, of ingenuity, of a nation's ability to push forward no matter the challenge. It's not just an antique on display. It's a living story of a time when people needed more than luxury, they needed strength. And Chevy delivered. Even today, nearly a century later, the 1931 Chevy pickup holds its ground in a world full of tech-driven, ultra-modern vehicles. It doesn't have Bluetooth or satellite navigation, but it has something more powerful: soul. It's a reminder of where we came from, of how far we've traveled, of what matters when the chips are down: hard work, smart design, and unshakable determination. Its popularity has never faded. Classic truck shows, online forums, restoration clubs, and social media pages are full of fans who continue to share stories, photos, and memories of this legendary truck. Families pass them down through generations. Collectors search high and low for rare models and factory original parts. And builders, with grease on their hands and fire in their hearts, keep them running, not because they have to, but because they believe in what the truck represents. So here's a challenge and an invitation. If you've got a story about a 1931 Chevy pickup, or any classic truck that's touched your life, share it. Keep the legend alive. Maybe it was your grandfather's farm truck, the one you learned to drive on. Maybe you saw one at a car show that made you stop and stare. Maybe you're in the middle of a restoration right now, fingers crossed and socket wrench in hand. Whatever the story, tell it. Because every story adds to the legacy. The 1931 Chevrolet light-duty pickup was never just a truck. It was, and still is, a classic workhorse. A tool. A treasure. A piece of who we are. And as long as there are people who remember, who restore, and who drive it, its story will keep rolling on, strong, steady, and proud. Final review: the enduring legend of the 1931 Chevrolet light-duty pickup. The 1931 Chevrolet light-duty pickup is more than just an old truck. It's a living artifact of American heritage. From its bold design to its groundbreaking engineering, it represents a turning point in automotive history. Built during one of the toughest periods in the 20th century, it became a symbol of hard work, resilience, and the power of ingenuity. This classic pickup didn't just serve its purpose, it helped define what a light-duty truck could be. Its design has stood the test of time, influencing generations of pickups and inspiring restoration enthusiasts around the world. Whether it's roaring back to life in a garage or stealing the spotlight at a classic car show, the 1931 Chevy pickup continues to command respect. It's more than nostalgia. It's craftsmanship. It's character. It's the soul of American automotive evolution, tough, reliable, and built with purpose. If this story moved you, inspired you, or simply gave you a deeper appreciation for classic vehicles, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with fellow enthusiasts, friends, and anyone who loves a good piece of history brought back to life. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss more incredible stories like this one.